Good morning, all. Welcome back at ICA classes. So it's really a good news for all of us that ICA is starting CA Intergroup 2 classes, paper 5 classes, specifically for the advantage of the students. And that is purely free of cost. So I'm thankful to ICA, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, our ICI Board of Studies Chairman, ICI specifically Vandana Madam, Seema Madam, and all the other dignities and members who are specifically concerned for running these classes. So it's really a wonderful experience for me for teaching at the platform ICI since approximately 1.5 years or more. This is third time I am taking the classes of ICI paper 5, and also I am taking classes of CA Inter paper 1 and CA Foundation for accounting subject. So I think every student better already met me in the previous classes also. So good morning to all. Welcome. I am seeing that how many have sent me the presents. Mr. Dinesh Angel. Already know this name because I have listened this name in my previous classes also. So welcome, Dinesh Angel. I'm not able to spell it properly because this is a name of Western region. WRO number made it clear that this is a number of Western region, and name is also given accordingly. So he comes first with the sending of presents. Pooja, also well-known name. Muhammad Aslam, well-known name. Vedika Kelkar. Good morning, sir. I completed hire purchase and profit prior to incorporation, but insurance claim is left. Okay. Do it, beta, because that is also required. Lalit Priya. Pratiksha. Tanish Sankaran. Manishavan. Sankaran Nipun. Petler Wala Kojima. Maybe he has also sent me his name in the previous classes. His name is Abdul Qadir. Okay, it's some issue of app that it shows my name as Kojima. You can address me as Abdul. Welcome, beta. Kushi, Alok, Arun, Jyoti, Vinay. Good. Sapna, Pratibha, and many more. Sushil, Kushwant, Vivek, Dilip. I'm your old student from last batch. Welcome, Pooja. I know it because your name let me recognize you. Ankit Verma, Darshan, Panish, and many more. So those who haven't sent their presents, send good morning so that we can understand that how many are present today. Very good. Tisha, Darshan, and many more. So send your presents bit fast. आप लोगों के प्रेजेंट्स भेजने से ना एक्चुअली मेरी मॉर्निंग थोड़ी सी वार्म हो जाती है, अदरवाइज इट इज टू हॉट टुडे. In North India, it is a cold morning because it's chilled in the North India. So really a wonderful experience of teaching in such a chilled environment to you. Yes, I am teaching from my home, so there's no worry about this. But even then, waking up at early in the morning, be ready for the classes. It is also a wonderful thing for me. Geet, Ritika, Vimal, and many more. So welcome, beta, all the students. So the way how ICA is starting the classes is basically to cover your syllabus in such a way so that we can go for the working of CA inter classes in such a way so that you can get good marks. So how to clear CA inter group 2? That is the most important thing. Obviously, number of students are appearing for both the groups. So I'm assuming that if I am going to appear in group 2 only, in that case, what do we have to do? Group 2. So in group 2, we know it all that we need 200 out of 400 marks to let it clear. And to get good marks, we expect that we should have to minimum score 300 out of 400. So this is the minimum marks which is required for keeping ourselves strong at a strong level that we are interested to be clear in it. Because if we are expecting 200 out of 400, that is not a good expectation, because in that case, if 5 marks or 10 marks will go down, it will be a dangerous issue for me. So I would like to go for this one, 300 out of 400 for you. So this is a minimum demand which you have to keep it into your mind, that we must have to secure this much marks. If you are interested to secure minimum 300 out of 400 marks, it means for you should have to obtain approximately 70 marks in each and every paper. Now, if you will see all the papers, all the papers are not giving you equivalent marks. Normally, the major subject, that is advanced accounting, is a subject which will help you to achieve this target, because this target is to be achieved only with those papers which are able to give you higher marks. So advanced accounting is a paper which may give you 90 plus marks even. So if you are expecting to get good marks, then you may have to expect that you may get 90 plus marks in advanced accounting paper only and only. So if you will see that how to get 90 marks, then you may have to go for the application of accounting standard. Now, application of accounting standard is a first topic which we have to discuss during many lectures, because number of lectures are allotted for it, and we will get minimum 20, otherwise up to 30 marks paper out of only this one chapter. So if we will see that 5% to 8% of 400 will be covered only out of this topic. Or you may have to say that if you are interested to see the paper of your advanced accounting, then you will get approximately 10 to 15% of the paper from this chapter only. So an important chapter from examination point of view. It will check your understanding, your logic regarding the accounting standards. Now, what is accounting standard? That is normally known to every student, because accounting standard has been started in your syllabus from CA foundation, or those who are coming from BCom, that is graduation, they have already discussed in graduation in BCom. Okay. Then in CA Inter, you have studied a lot paper one, because in paper one also it was a important topic. Many years are already discussed and covered by you in your paper one. Already you have seen that the importance of this chapter was there in CA Inter paper one also. Now we are going to cover the remaining accounting standards, whatever we have left. As we all know that we have to cover ES 1 to 29 in our syllabus in CA Inter paper 1 and paper 5 both. So in paper 1 we have covered a lot. Remaining ES will be covered in paper 5. So approximately there are, okay, good. So we have to cover remaining all the ES. It will start from ES 4, 5 like this, and the complete list is given in your module also. You may see that. Now, how we will have to study and what will be the benefit of it? How we will have to study and how we will have to go for it? That is the important thing. Yes. First of all, the language will be in English as well as in Hindi, both. So those who are not able to understand Hindi, don't worry about anything, because we'll cover anything in Hindi after covering that in English. So there's no worry about those for those students who are not able to understand Hindi, because from South India and West India, some students are there who are not able to understand Hindi. So they need not to worry whenever I'll speak Hindi. Okay, because this is an instruction by the ICA that we must have to speak in Hindi. We must have to summarize in Hindi for those students who are not able to understand English at that level, whatever is required for those students, whatever are from South India. So हिंदी का तो बड़ा सिंपल रहेगा बेटा, कि आप लोगों को समराइज भी करेंगे हिंदी में, आप लोगों को समझाएंगे भी हिंदी में साथ में, इंग्लिश में करने के बाद। सो जिनको इंग्लिश में ज्यादा क्लैरिटी नहीं आती, तो वो लोगों को वरी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, हम उनको हिंदी में साथ में कवर करेंगे। ये हमें पीछे से इंस्ट्रक्शंस भी हैं, सो इससे बेटर रहता है। ओके, देन सेकंड थिंग इज our coverage will be concept based. We have to study on concept based for accounting standards specifically, because the accounting standards are to be covered from the concept way. We need not to remember it. We need not to learn it. We have to go for the concepts better. So let's understand it by with concept by concept, because if you will understand the concept, you will be able to answer the queries in the exam, because in the exam you will not get as it is question from the AS. Instead, you will get questions on the basis of concepts, on the basis of logics, on the basis of case studies. So let's understand how to give answer, how to answer questions of accounting standard. Whenever you will get whenever you will get question from accounting standard, first of all you have to refer accounting standard from which that question comes to you. Second point, you have to refer paragraph or point to whom it relates. Third, you will have to give details for the above point in brief. Fourth, correlate your question with above point and give summary decision. So it will be divided into four parts. One is you have to mention the accounting standard name and number. So name and number is important, that this belongs to according to AS4 events and contingency and events occurring after the balance sheet date. Like this, you will have to mention the name of the accounting standard, and then you have to write that according to events occurring after the balance sheet date, that is the point to whom it relates. You will have to refer the point. You have to study the question properly and understand that to whom it relates. You will have to mention that point according to events occurring after the balance sheet date, or according to contingencies, or according to contingent gain. We'll have to write it in 2 or 3 lines. So after writing it in through 2 or 3 lines, you have to correlate. You have to correlate your question with that particular point, that in the given question, we have to do this and that. So that will be the decision you have to give in a summary way. So in this way, you will have to divide your answer. Even if the question will come for 4 marks or 5 marks or 6 marks, you need not to worry. You will have to write it in this system only. Only yes or no is not a right way of giving the answer. You have to give the answer in a proper way. बेटा देखो आंसर देने का तरीका क्या रहेगा कि पहले आपने अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड का नेम और उसका नंबर मेंशन कर देना, उसके बाद पैराग्राफ जिससे रिलेटेड है, जो टॉपिक से रिलेटेड है, वो टॉपिक या पैराग्राफ के बारे में डिटेल दे देनी है. डिटेल देने के बाद आपने कोरिलेट कर देना है दोनों को आपस में. मींस आपने जो क्वेश्चन आया है आपके पास और जो आपने पॉइंट रेफर किया है, दोनों को आपस में कोरिलेट कर देना है. कोरिलेट करके तो आप लोगों का आपने आंसर बना देना है. सो दिस इज द वे हाउ यू विल गिव द आंसर. वी विल डिस्कस इट ऑब्वियसली. Okay, so you may note it down so that we can proceed further. Note it down, beta. One thing is very important. Live classes are always important. So don't miss the live classes and depend and remain dependent on recorded classes only, because recorded classes are specifically for the purpose of your video is not clear. Written, sir. Okay. But if video is not clear, you will have to uh, check the settings of your quality of video, setting quality of video, because that will help you to understand it better. You will have to select the higher quality by going into the advanced options in your YouTube channel. That will be a better option. So live classes are important. So I suggest those who are going to attend recorded classes from this particular video must come to for the live classes, as it is running 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on alternate days, that is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Started on 3rd of January, and it will go up to maybe for the further 2 or 3 months, it will go regularly. So prefer for the live classes better. Recorded classes are also wonderful, but these are to be taken on the secondary level. Primarily, you should have to go for the live classes better. So I would like to refer you to go for the module also. Now, in module, what you have to do, beta? In module, there are various types of notes given to you regarding accounting standard, maybe, because I doesn't have that particular thing with me. So I have downloaded it from your ICA website, Board of Studies. So from there, I have three types of accounting standards available with me. One is detailed accounting standards. So detailed accounting standards. Second, you will have to go for the quick revision of accounting standards. And third is the AS, AS at a glance. So there are three types of things with me. Three type of study material is with me. Detailed study material is for you. You will have to refer it at your home. We will cover it in two ways. One is I'll refer quick reference of accounting standards, because from there we can understand it in a better way. Simultaneously, I will cover glance. You may see that accounting standard at glance is also given to you. So this is I am calling as quick revision oblique glance, one and the same thing. So this I'll cover so that you can understand it in a better way. Simultaneously, I'll refer the detailed study material given to you. So these are the total years 4, 5, 7, 9, 14, 17, 18, 19, all that list is given to you in their module. I'm not going to cover about the overview of accounting standards, because that has already been covered by you for those years which have been covered in paper 1. Today I will go for the coverage of overview of accounting standards for those which are covered in AS, which are covered in this module in your syllabus. Okay. So beta, let's open both for your reference. First of all, the name of the AS, let it be very much clear that what is the basic target of this AS. This AS is contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. So first of all, let's understand what means for the contingencies. Whenever we will talk about the word contingency, this means for those, what means for the contingencies? Contingency meant for anything which is not yet occurred. Not yet occurred. जो अभी तक नहीं हुआ उसे contingency में लिया जा सकता है. But one more thing is there which will, which may or may not occur in future. Which may or may not occur in future. If anything is confirmed that it will occur in future, then it is not covered under contingency. If anything may or may not occur in future, that is a contingency. Then depending upon occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more future events. So this occurrence depends upon any future event. But if this will occur, then this will result. This result will be depending on this event. So it is depending upon something which is not confirmed, which may or may not occur in future, but it all depends upon a decision which will come into future. Like if I am supplier of dry fruits and sold a lot of 10,000 kgs at the rate of rupees 1,000 per kg to a customer. Now, customer tells me it is not as per quality, not as per commitment. So, demanding claim of rupees 300 per kg. So I have sold 10,000 kgs at the rate of 1,000 per kg. That is the consignment is of 1 crore. So I have sent a consignment of 1 crore to one of my customers. Now what happened? He says that the goods are not as per the quality. So he is claiming me rupees 300 per kg. That is 30 lakh rupees. I'm not interested to pay him. So I refuse to pay him. Now he has gone to the court for getting that claim. Now it all depends upon the judgment of the court whether I'll have to pay the claim or not. Beta. Claim will be paid only and only if I lose the case, if I'm not able to win that case. If I lose that case, if I'll not win that case, then I'll have to pay. If I will win the case, then I need not to pay that amount. तो बेटा बड़ा सिंपल है कि मैंने 1 करोड़ की कंसाइनमेंट भेजी है. अब उसमें कस्टमर जो है वो कह रहा है कि आपने क्वालिटी नहीं दी, तो अब मुझे 30 लाख रुपीस क्लेम पे करो इसका. अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? दिक्कत आएगी जब 31 मार्च होगी. तो ऑल 31 मार्च को अभी केस लगा हुआ है, बट अभी तक डिसीजन नहीं आया. तो अब मुझे पता है कि अगर तो डिसीजन मेरी फेवर में आया तो मुझे पे करने पड़ेंगे, अगर मेरी फेवर में आया तो मुझे पे नहीं करने पड़ेंगे, अगर मुझे मेरी फेवर में ना आया तो मुझे पे करने पड़े, फिर आप मुझे पे नहीं करने पड़ेंगे. मींस इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन विनिंग और लूजिंग अ केस. इफ आई विन, नो नीड टू पे. So this liability will not arise. If I lose that case, then I'll have to pay. So it depends upon the occurrence or non-occurrence of future event, that is judgment of court. So this future event is but judgment of court. So whatever will be the judgment of court, I'll have to pay claim accordingly. So this is a contingency, because contingency meant for this is not confirmed. If I know that I'll have to lose that case, this is for sure. In that case, it is not contingency, it is a confirmed liability. Otherwise, it is a contingent liability. Contingent liability. So this is all known to everyone. According to my opinion, in CA Foundation, you have already done it. This is not certain exactly. You have already read it. So I think you all know about this. Now, how to treat it whenever we are talking about contingent liability? This contingent liability will be shown in the balance sheet as a footnote. In the balance sheet as a footnote, that there is a contingent liability of this much amount. Now, if we are expecting that we may have to suffer some loss due to that, means we are sure to some extent that there may be a loss of approximately 30 lakh or 20 lakh to me. So if we are expecting a loss in future, then it is allowed to us to create a provision for that in our books. Create a provision for that. Provision means we'll have to record it as a provision. See, here it is. See, here it is. So what is contingency? He has already made it very much clear to you that this is a condition or situation whose ultimate outcome may be gain or loss, whatever it is. It is determined only on the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more future events, beta. If it is, we are expecting a gain, then it is not recognized in the financial statements because we have a concept of prudence with us, which tells us if we are do not anticipate gains, but provide for probable losses. So if we are expecting any loss in future, means if it is a contingent liability, we are expecting in future and we are expecting there may be some loss on that. Means if it is a contingent liability, it is not to be entered in the books of accounts as a provision. Instead, if we are expecting that we have to pay this much amount, then it is, if it is probable that future event will confirm that after considering related probable recovery, an asset has been impaired or a liability has been incurred at the balance sheet date. Impaired means reduce or increase, that is change. Impairment means changing, that is change. If our asset or liabilities will be impacted with that, will be changed with that, then obviously we'll have to show it in our books of account, and the reasonable estimate of the amount will be shown in the financial statement unless the possibility of. So this is the concept which is to be kept into mind. Everyone knows it, I think, because you already know it. Next is events occurring after the balance sheet date. This is clear to everyone. Does we need to make provision for it? Yes, beta, you will have to create a provision for that. I already discussed, if we are expecting that we will lose the case, and the chances of losing the case is that we will have to pay not 30 lakh, but we may have to pay 20 lakh. We are expecting that we need to pay only 20 lakh. So we'll create a provision for rupees 20 lakh. We'll create a provision in our books of accounts, provision for refund or claim for rupees 20 lakh in our profit or loss account and balance sheet. We know it well that how to show it in the balance sheet, how to show it in the profit or loss account. In profit or loss account debit side, in balance sheet it will be shown on the liability side. So the provision of 20 lakh or 10 lakh or 30 lakh may be created. It all depends how much provision we are expecting, beta. Exactly, Darshan. So it is depending upon happening or non-happening of other event. Other event is judgment by the court. If we win the case, we need not to pay anything. If we are expecting that we will win the case, then it will not be entered in the books of accounts. Then we will not create any provision. we will not show contingent liability in the books of accounts. Okay, because in that case there is no chance of entering the books of accounts because we can't do not anticipate gains. In this case, even this is not a gain because in this case it is basically a loss which will not occur to us. In the same way, if our goods are destroyed due to the reason of fire, goods are destroyed by fire as on 31st of March worth rupees 10 lakhs. There may be some loss to us by way of fire, by way of theft. We know it well. In that case, we have gone for the insurance claim. So if we are expecting that company will accept the claim and will get rupees 6 lakh out of that, not rupees 10 lakh, then what do you have to do? You need not to enter this in your books of accounts. Instead, the loss of rupees 10 lakh will be entered in the books of accounts as a normal loss, as a abnormal loss, because we have to enter it in our books of accounts. So we'll enter it. But if claim is not yet confirmed, the insurance company has not accepted that claim, then it will not be entered in the books of accounts. So this 6 lakh will be entered in the books of accounts only and only when it is confirmed, because we can't anticipate gains. We have lodged a claim with the insurance company, but till the time we doesn't get the claim, we'll enter rupees 10 lakh as a loss in our books of accounts as on 31st of March. So when the claim will be received in the next year, it will be entered in the books of accounts only at that time. Beta 10 lakh का लॉस हो गया. अब 6 लाख का क्लेम आपको नेक्स्ट ईयर में मिल भी सकता है, नहीं भी मिल सकता है, चांसेस आर देयर. तो अगर हमें उसका चांस है, देन इट इज अ कंटीजेंट गेन. This contingent gain will be shown as a notes to account. Notes to account means this is basically you have already done. You will have to do that corporate accounting this time. So you will see that we have a balance sheet with us. Under the balance sheet, we have notes to accounts. We have director's report. So it will be shown in notes to accounts. So these are summary notes which will be shown in the books of accounts only as a footnote. So we'll show that we are expecting that insurance claim of rupees 6 lakh may receive in the next year. So that will be shown just as it is, nothing else. Even if we are confirmed that this amount will be received to me, but it all depends upon the decision of the court. So decision of the insurance company, then we'll not have to show it. But if insurance company has already confirmed that 6 lakh will be given to you in the next year or within few days, only then the loss of rupees 10 lakh will be reduced with 6 lakh and the loss of rupees shown 4 lakh will be shown as net, because in case it is confirmed, it will become my debtor. Once insurance company confirmed me that the amount of rupees 6 lakh will be given to me as a claim, then obviously this 6 lakh will become my debtor. It will be shown in the books of accounts, because in that case loss will be reduced with rupees 6 lakh, and as on 31st of March, I'll show my loss worth rupees 4 lakh, not as 6 lakh, not as 10 lakh. Okay, I think this is clear to everyone. Now, here two words are given: change in the statement of profit or loss account. That is, it is probable that future events will confirm that after considering related probable recovery, an asset has been impaired or a changes have been made, reasonable estimate of the amount of the resulting loss can be made. So, first of all, it must be probable that future event will. This is a one thing. This is mandatory, because only then we will have to go for the contingency. Contingency means for which may or may not occur in future. So if it is probable that future event will confirm that after considering related probable recovery, an asset has been impaired or a liability has been incurred as at the balance sheet date, means कि ऐसा हो सकता है, chances are there, और उसका हम estimate भी लगा सकते हैं. अगर उसका एस्टिमेट नहीं लगा सकते, मान लो हमें लगता है कि हमें केस तो हम लोग लूज कर जाएंगे, जो मैंने केस की एग्जांपल ली, ये जो केस की मैंने एग्जांपल ली है कि मुझे पेमेंट तो करनी पड़ सकती है, मुझे लगता है कि केस तो मैं लूज कर जाऊंगा, बट इट इज नॉट कंफर्म्ड कि मुझे 20 लाख देना पड़ेगा कि 10 लाख देना पड़ेगा, मैं एस्टिमेट नहीं लगा सकता। ये मुझे कंफर्म नहीं कितने पैसे देने पड़े, केस तो मैं हार जाऊंगा, पर हो सकता है मैं 2 लाख देना पड़े, हो सकता है 10 लाख देना पड़े, हो सकता है ना देने पड़े। और या फिर ये लगता है कि केस तो मैं पक्का ही हारूंगा और मुझे पता है कि पैसे भी देने पड़ेंगे, बट ये नहीं पता कितने पैसे देने पड़ेंगे, फिर मैं प्रोविजन नहीं क्रिएट करूंगा, कंटिजेंट लायबिलिटी तो वो रहेगी। प्रोविजन तभी क्रिएट हो सकती है व्हेन द अमाउंट इज एस्टिमेटेड, व्हेन द एस्टिमेट कैन बी made. If estimate cannot be made, in that case no provision can, if estimate cannot be made, no provision can be created, because provision can be created with the estimated amount. If we are able to confirm that we will lose that case, but this is not sure that how much will be the loss which will occur to me, then in that case I'll have to assume that the I'll not have to enter any provision in the books of accounts. Instead, what I'll do, I'll just show it as a contingent liability in my books of accounts. That's it. Exactly clear? Next, event occurring after the balance sheet date. But so what it meant for after the reporting period means, if my reporting period is beta 1st of April 2021 to 31st of March 22. So this is the reporting period for which balance sheet we are preparing, for which period we are preparing balance sheet. So this is the period. Now what happened? Whatever event occurred during this period, obviously that has been entered in the books of accounts. What happened? An event has been occurred on 30th of June 22. Now this event has been occurred, there's no problem. But balance sheet is not finalized yet. Balance sheet is finalized on 30th of September 22. Because you know it very well that in case of companies, we have date up to 30th of November. In case of individual, we have date up to 31st of July. In case of partnership firms, we have date up to 31st of August, because that is as per the income tax law. So we have sufficient period to finalize our balance sheet. And during that period of 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, an event has been occurred. Now, whether that event means any big profit or loss has been occurred to us. What means for event? Event means for the result. You know it well, because there are transactions and events. So some result has come to me, and that result has shown me, has proved that we have suffered a loss or we have incurred a gain. So whether that loss or gain will be entered in the books of accounts or not. So first of all, let it be very much clear. We cannot enter anything in our books of accounts until and unless it was not appearing with us on 31st of March 22. So events may be favorable or unfavorable both, because we are talking about gains and losses both. तो बेटा समरी बड़ी सिंपल है कि हमें फायदा नुकसान तो चलो ठीक है, हमें हो जाएगा, फायदा होगा तो फेवरेबल हो गया, नुकसान होगा तो अनफेवरेबल हो गया। अब ये हुआ कब है? 31 मार्च के बाद हुआ है। तो पहले तो ये देखो ना कि ये 31 मार्च को कंडीशन एग्जिस्ट कर रही थी कि नहीं कर रही थी, किससे रिलेटेड है। अब मान लो कि कंपनी को कोई प्रोजेक्ट मिला, कब मिला? कंपनी को प्रोजेक्ट मिला 1 जून को 22 को। उस प्रोजेक्ट में कंपनी ने 1 करोड़ का बिजनेस किया और कंपनी को लॉस हो गया उस पे 80 लाख का, सिर्फ 20 लाख की रिकवरी हुई। कब तक पता लग गया? ये 31 जुलाई 22 तक मुझे पता लग गया कि मुझे 80 लाख का लॉस हो गया। तो क्या ये बुक्स में डालना है? डालना है, ऑब्वियसली कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट किस पीरियड में? ये लॉस कब का है? ये प्रोजेक्ट कब मिला था? ये मिला है 22-23 में। बैलेंस शीट में 21-22 की फाइनल कर रहा हूं, बट उसका इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है। इट डजंट हैव एनी रिलेशन विद दैट। जो इसका रिलेशन है, ये जो पीरियड है, ये किससे रिलेटेड है? 22-23 से, क्योंकि ये तो इवेंट ही इसका है। हमें प्रोजेक्ट कब मिला? 1 जून को। 31 जुलाई को हमें 80 लाख का लॉस हो गया उसमें से, तो ये तो इसी में जाएगा, इसका इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है, 21-22 में नहीं जाएगा। लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड इट। इफ वी हैव सफर्ड अ लॉस out of a project which has been received to me on 1st of June, and the loss has been occurred on 31st July, that is in the period of 20 to 23, then this loss will be entered in the period of 20 to 23, not in 21-22. This is very much clear to every student. This is a general knowledge. This is a general thing which should be known to every student, beta. इसमें तो कोई problem है ही नहीं ना. But if I am talking about a project which has been started on 1st of Feb 22, so I have received a project on 1st of Feb 22, and I am working in it. On this project I am working, and on 30th of April 22, project was of rupees 1 crore. And I have shown on 31st of March in my books of accounts that till now the project of 70 lakh is already completed, and I am able to get that from my debtors. So I have shown in my books of accounts a debtors worth rupees 70 lakh. But by a chance on 30th of April, I suffered a loss of rupees 80 lakh on this project. Now, this project was appearing in my books of accounts on 31st of March, that is in 21-22. I have suffered a loss on this project only. Now, in that case, we may think that, we may plan that, we may have to change my figures of balance sheet or not. Because here we can't think even, because this project was not belonging to the previous year at all. But here this project belongs to the previous year. Yes, the loss has not been occurred in the previous year, but this belongs to previous year ना बेटा. कुछ हद तक इसका रिलेशन तो होना चाहिए. अगर वो प्रोजेक्ट पिछले साल का था, फिर तो हम सोचेंगे उसके बारे में. अगर वो प्रोजेक्ट पिछले साल का नहीं था, उसका पिछले साल से कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं था, फिर सोचना ही नहीं है. तो दो तरह के इवेंट्स मैंने बताया कि रिपोर्टिंग पीरियड के बाद हमें नजर आ रहे हैं. तो एक वो जो नेक्स्ट ईयर के रिलेटेड है, जिनका कोई पिछले साल से रिलेशन ही नहीं है, और दूसरे वो जिनका पिछले साल से रिलेशन है. बेटा नोट करो ये अपने पास. इट मे relates to 21-22, but I have written it may. So its effect may be entered or not. That we have to see. So note it down, beta. If you will note each and everything, then it will be better, because the issue is this, because once you will cover the AS, when you will review it in your future while giving the exams, it will not be possible to remind whatever we have done. So case studies I am giving you. So these are the case studies, whatever I am giving you. So you will have to write down these case studies in your language, make proper notes of it, because if you are interested to get 30 marks out of this accounting standard only, then obviously you are going to make a proper note. Beta note बनाओगे तभी फायदा होगा. We'll discuss how it will be shown in the balance sheet. Yet I am just discussing what meant for the event occurring after the reporting period. What will be assumed as the event and what will not be assumed as an event to be considered. So which event will be considered, which is not to be considered. This may be considered, but this must not be considered. What are the events occurring after the balance sheet date? Give some example. That I am giving, beta ये examples ही तो दे रहा हूँ. Sharon? If actual loss is less than the estimated loss, then the difference amount will be taxed in income tax. But that we will discuss in capital gain. Otherwise, in accounting, whenever actual loss is less than the estimated loss, obviously in the next year, then you should have to note it down with you that provisions are created just for one day, beta. Once a provision is created, it is reversed on the very next day. Or if you are going to prepare a proper account of it, even then you will see it will be adjusted with the actual loss, and the balance will be automatically reversed or adjusted in the next year. So this is normal accounting. But what happens if it occur after approval balance sheet date? So we are not discussing it after the approval, because I am already discussing with you that the approval is normally taken later on. So I am all discussing all before the approval. Now, approval word is very important for all the students, because what means for the approval is actually whenever a balance sheet is prepared, then it will go for the approval to the owner of that particular organization. Either it may be the partners or directors or the in case of proprietor, obviously proprietor. So once it is approved by him that it is to be lowered, after then if any event will occur, then it will not be considered, because once approval is done, no chance of changes after that date. No, you may note it down. After, we are talking about after the reporting period, but before approval. Before approval by signing authority. So before approval by signing authority, we all talk about this. I think this is all noted down by everyone. So let's understand whatever is mentioned here. Event occurring after the balance reporting period, both favorable and unfavorable, that occurs between the date of the reporting period and the date when the financial statements are approved. So this is already clear. By the board of directors in case of a company, by the corresponding authority, that is all mentioned by me. So we are talking about only those things, whatever is not yet, until unless it is not yet approved. Once it is approved, we will not discuss about anything. Beta approval के बाद कुछ भी discuss नहीं किया जाएगा. So there are two types of events. One is adjusting event, second is non-adjusting. Now, what is adjusting and what is non-adjusting? Already mentioned, those which provide further evidence of condition that existed at the balance sheet date. I've already taken an example for you that the project has been received to me on 1st of Feb. Now, on 31st of March 22, this project was shown in my books of accounts. I've shown a debtor worth rupees 70 lakhs in my books of account in relation to that particular project. Now, on that particular project, I have suffered out rupees 80 lakh in next year. And the balance sheet is not yet approved by the board of directors. In that case, I'll show that loss in my books of accounts as a provision of rupees 80 lakhs. I'll not show any, well, against that debtor will have to show loss of rupees 80 lakh, because in that case, full loss will be entered in the books of accounts, not the 70 lakh. Instead, we will show loss of 80 lakh in my books of accounts. But if the project is received on 1st of July, and the loss has been occurred on 31st of August, even before the finalization of the balance sheet. But this is all done in 22. So if it is done, if it doesn't relate to the condition that arose after the balance sheet date, so in that case, it will not be entered in the books of accounts. It will be named as a non-adjusting event. क्या कहेंगे उसको? Non-adjusting. Okay. तो एडजस्टिंग इवेंट कौन सा था? 1st Feb वाला, उसके साथ लिख लो. और नॉन एडजस्टिंग कौन सा था? 1st July वाला, लिख लो उसके साथ बेटा, साथ शाबाश. Now last things which are very important, let it be very much clear. Disclosure. What is to be disclosed in the books of accounts? Now, adjusting event, if any, it is to be disclosed in the books of accounts. Adjusting event after the reporting period. So it will be adjusted in the financial statement already discussed. Now, one important illustration is example is also given. If we are expecting event occurring after the balance sheet date may indicate that now this is one good example. This is actually not an adjusting event, but it is taken here. Why? If an event have been occurred after the reporting period, which even doesn't relate to the previous year, that is, an event has been occurred which is not related to 21-22, means what happened? We are going to, we have suffered a big loss in the next year. We have received a project in 22-23 after the reporting period. We have received a project. Project is of rupees 100 crores. And within just 2 months, I have suffered a loss of rupees 90 crores on that. And due to that, I'm going to switch off my business. Or we are expecting that the business will not continue due to this reason only. Now, balance sheet is not yet approved by the board of directors. If time is there, and we have already seen that the going concern assumption is going to be damaged. Means here business is not going to run. Here business is not going to continue because we are expecting that we have to shut down our business immediately, or that particular unit for which this balance sheet is going to be prepared. In that case, even it doesn't relate to 21-22, but because going concern assumption is there, and it shows us that the business is going to be seized off due to that reason. In that case, we'll have to show it in our books of accounts. We'll have to show it as a adjusting event even. मतलब बड़ा सिंपल है कि बेटा अगर ऐसा कुछ हो गया है जिससे हमें लगता है कि ये तो ब्लंडर ही हो गया, अभी अब तो चांस ही नहीं कि बिजनेस आगे चलेगा। इवन देखो 31 मार्च को कुछ ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट मेरे पास नहीं था। मुझे प्रोजेक्ट कब मिला? मुझे 1 जुलाई को प्रोजेक्ट मिला 22 को, और 31 अगस्त तक ही मुझे पता लगा। जैसे आपने देखा होगा अडानी, ये पंजाब में बहुत हुआ था हमारे यहाँ, अडानी के जो पेट्रोल पंप्स, अडानी के जो बिजनेसेस थे, उनके बाहर पंजाब में फार्मर्स बैठ गए थे रिवोल्ट पे, एजिटेशन पे, कि आपका हम बिजनेस चलना ही नहीं देंगे। तो उस केस में तो उसको लग रहा था कि आज मेरा बिजनेस तो अब चलेगा ही नहीं, यहाँ पर मेरा बिजनेस बंद हो जाएगा, क्योंकि 1 महीना नहीं, 2 महीने नहीं, कई महीने वो बैठे रहे। तो इन दैट केस हो सकता है उसे लगे कि यार गोइंग कंसर्न असम्पशन तो फॉलो नहीं हो रही, यहाँ पर बिजनेस नहीं लगता कि चलेगा अब। तो वो उस केस में जब हमने 31 मार्च की बैलेंस शीट बनानी है ना, उसमें भी हम उसको लॉस को बुक्स में डाल सकते हैं, उसकी प्रोविजनिंग कर सकते हैं, उसको एडजस्टिंग इवेंट मान सकते हैं। बट कब? जब कोई बहुत बड़ा ऐसा लॉस हो जाए जिससे गोइंग कंसर्न असम्पशन पे ही इफेक्ट पड़ जाए। या एक और एग्जांपल लिए, डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ ए मेजर प्रोडक्शन प्लांट। ऑब्वियसली सेम बात है, जैसे एक बार हमें न्यूज आई थी कि किसी गवर्नमेंट ने ना जो मारुति टाटा का जो एक यूनिट था वो वहां से बंद करवा दिया था। उसके बाहर एजिटेशन शुरू हो गया था, उन्होंने बंद ही करवा दिया था। वो कहते यहाँ से आप बंद कर दो जी। तो वहां पर एजिटेशन शुरू हो गया, उन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट ही बंद करवा दिया, प्लांट ही बंद करवा दिया। तो उस केस में तो हमें, चाहे वो 1 अप्रैल के बाद पता लग रहा है, 1 अप्रैल के बाद ही सब कुछ हो रहा है, इवन देन इट विल बी शोन इन द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, तब भी वो बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में हम शो करेंगे, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। अदरवाइज रूटीन में तो मैंने बताया जो एडजस्टिंग इवेंट है वही रहेंगे। और नॉन एडजस्टिंग में क्या? डू नॉट एडजस्ट द अमाउंट recognized in the financial statements to reflect it. So we already discussed that non-adjusting events will not be entered in the books of accounts. Okay, it will be just disclosed. It will be just disclosed. Here disclosure is given. Now already take an example for this. Which type of non-adjusting events are there? 1 or 2 more examples are given. Decline the market value of investment. Ordinary fluctuation in market value do not relate to the condition of investment at the balance sheet date. Decline in the market value of investment between the balance sheet and the date on which financial statements are approved. Ordinary fluctuation in market value do not relate to the condition of investment at the balance sheet date. So this will be treated as a non-adjusting event. Like there is a fluctuation in market value, up and down of market value is routine. So in that case, it will be assumed as a non-adjusting event. If it is material, now one thing is there, it may or may not be material. Material means for which will change our decision. Any information which may affect our decision is called material. So if it is material, then obviously in that case we'll have to show it in our books of accounts by way of, we have to show its nature, we'll have to show its estimate of its financial statements, just as a disclosure beta, nothing else, not more than that. Disclosure दे सकते हैं उस केस में, उससे ज्यादा कुछ भी नहीं। डिस्क्लोजर दिया जाएगा कब? जब हमें लगता है कि उसकी जो अमाउंट है वो काफी है और वो उसका नेचर ऑफ इवेंट्स बता देंगे कि उसका नेचर ऑफ इवेंट क्या है, और एस्टिमेट बताना है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में फाइनेंशियल इफेक्ट का, जितना उसमें फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूड है उसका एक एस्टिमेट बना के आप वहां पर लगा दोगे। या फिर हम ये लिख देंगे कि इसका एस्टिमेट तो नहीं लगाया जा सकता, बट ये इसकी नेचर है, ऐसा हो सकता है। इसमें इसके अलावा कुछ और पॉइंट्स हैं जो हमें डिस्कस करने हैं। सम मोर पॉइंट्स आर देयर। Dividend declared after the reporting period, but before approval of financial statement is always allowed to be entered in the books of accounts. Because dividend is given out of the profit of the previous year only. If we have declared any dividend for the previous year, but before approval by the BOD, then it will be shown in the books of accounts. Okay. Dividend declared after the reporting period, but before approval of finance, do not recognize it as a liability at the end of the reporting period. Disclose in the notes. No obligation exists. Dividend declared after the reporting period, do not recognize it as a liability at the end of the reporting period. Okay, disclose it as a note. No obligation exists at the end of the reporting period. Or maybe it is something else which has been given here. I would like to show it from your notes. That will be a better option in this case. Let's understand the concept of dividend, because that is an important concept. Yes. Dividend declared after the balance sheet date. So this is a statutory requirement. One thing is very important, that this is a statutory requirement, that it will be reflected in the financial statement. If dividend are declared after the balance sheet date, but before the financial statements are approved, the dividend are not recognized as a liability at the balance sheet date, because no obligation exists at that time unless a statute otherwise require otherwise. Such dividend are disclosed in note. Thus, no liability for proposed dividend need to be recognized in financial statement for financial year 31st March 2017 subsequent year. Such proposed dividend are to be disclosed in the notes as per company's amendment rule. Now it is very much clear that if any dividend is proposed, that it is to be given. We know it well that if dividend is proposed, it is not our confirmed liability. Confirmed liability will be only when dividend is declared. Dividend is डिक्लेयर टू बी गिवन, कि एक बार डिक्लेयर कर दिया कि अब देने लगे हैं, तभी उसको हम लोग मतलब जब डिविडेंड ड्यू कर देते हैं तभी डिविडेंड की एंट्री डलती है। प्रपोज्ड डिविडेंड जो है ना, इसको आप नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में शो करोगे, दैट्स इट। प्रपोज्ड डिविडेंड विल बी शोन इन जस्ट एज नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स, नॉट मोर देन दैट। ओके, नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेक योर क्वेरीज। If project started 1st March and loss occurred on 1st of March 2023, then can we change previous year balance sheet? No, Angel. If project has been started on 1st of March 22 and the loss has been occurred on 1st of March 2023, that is after the approval of balance sheet by BOD, no changes can be made in that balance sheet. Then what it is, we will cover it in the next AS beta. वो नेक्स्ट AS में हम कवर करेंगे ये क्या चीज होगी, ये हम डिस्कस करेंगे। But what if non-adjusting events are more significant than they require disclosure? That they require disclosure. Exactly, beta. It will require disclosure as a notes to accounts. Not that more than that. Not completed with writing. It is the same thing also in A as per exactly SA 560 is also for that. Please repeat, sir. If going concern is there, if going concern assumption fails, that we are expecting that the business is going to be switched off, in that case we can enter it in the books of accounts, enter in the financial statement of previous year if it is not yet approved by board of directors. अगर financial statement को BOD ने अभी approve नहीं करा और going concern assumption fail हो गई है, तो फिर तो आप उसे शो कर सकते, उसे एडजस्ट कर सकते हो, उसे डाल सकते हो, एडजस्टिंग इवेंट मान सकते हो। नहीं, उसे हम लोग एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं, प्रॉपर एडजस्टिंग इवेंट की तरह ट्रीट करेंगे। सर देन व्हेन डिविडेंड रिकॉर्डेड इन बैलेंस शीट डेट, डिविडेंड जब तक ड्यू नहीं होता तब तक किताबों में नहीं डालते हम लोग, बिकॉज डिविडेंड ना कभी भी प्रपोज करके आप वापस ले सकते हो, ये बड़ा कंसेप्ट है इनके पास कि डिविडेंड ये प्रपोज करके बुक्स में से उसके बाद फिर दोबारा कैंसिल भी कर सकते हैं, कंपनीज के पास ये प्रोविजन होती है। तो इसी वजह से अगर कंपनी सिर्फ प्रपोज कर रही है डिविडेंड तो उसे बुक्स में नहीं डालना, उसे सिर्फ नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स की तरह शो करना है। Now what's your homework for this AS? You have to go for the illustrations whatever is given there. These are the homework for the in X company theft of 5 lakh etc. ये देखो इसमें आंसर कैसे लिखा गया, how they have written the answer I have already discussed with you. See here it is. Yeah, this is illustration number 1. Let's see how he has written the homework answer. Theft of 5 lakh in January 21, detected in May. So this is what first of all, tell me whether it is a contingency or event occurring after the balance sheet date. So then when dividend recorded in balance sheet date, dividend will be recorded in the balance sheet date only when it is due. When company has made it due, you will have to enter it in the books of accounts. सर पर शो कैसे करेंगे एडजस्टमेंट पोस्ट को? अभी हम लोग यही देखेंगे बेटा, इवेंट इंडिकेटिंग गोइंग कंसर्न assumption inappropriate is disclosed in notes to accounts. It will be allowed to be adjusted in the books of accounts as an adjusting event. If dividend are declared before balance sheet date and money note issued to shareholders, then they will be shown as a liability. No, but even then, if dividend is already, if dividend is proposed, it is shown as a proposed dividend in our books of accounts. Okay. If it is done before 31st, but we are not doing it before 31st of March. Everyone knows it. Maybe if you are already doing it in corporate accounting, we have done basically due to that reason you doesn't know it. Actually, dividend is proposed first and then it is declared and all done in the next year. It is not done in the previous year. No, in the year in which earning is made, it is not done in that year. It is done in the next year. It is a rule. It is a routine. We have shown that. Difference between contingency and events we will do in the next years, beta. If going concern becomes inappropriate, then after approval, then interim financial statement need to be issued. No, beta, no such thing is there. We will not have to discuss about that. That is not covered in our AS. Event occurring after the balance sheet date, it is contingency. Okay, you are sending me the answer. This is event occurring after the balance sheet date. So is it an adjusting event or a non-adjusting event? So this event is adjusting or non-adjusting? Fast. It's an adjusting event. So it will be registered in the books of account. How answer will be written? As per AS4 revised, contingency and an event occurring after the balance sheet date. You have to give the meaning of now that particular event. An event occurring after the balance sheet date may require adjustment to the reported value of assets, liabilities, expenses, and liabilities. You may also write an adjusting event. This you may also write occurring after the balance sheet date may require adjustment if a fraud of accounting period is detected after the balance sheet date, but before approval of the fine, it is necessary to recognize the loss of rupees 5 lakh and adjust to the account of the company for the year ended 31st of March. That's it. This is the answer. This is the way you have to present your answer. I think this is clear to every student. So this is the way you have to give the answer, beta. I have already discussed now. So many illustrations are given which you have to do at your home. Your homework will always be to review the AS in full. One. Second, you will have to do all the illustrations, beta. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss illustration in the ES. I'll discuss the ES. You will have to read the ES at your home. You will have to go for the illustration at your home. On the next very day, we'll take the problems. If there is any query from your side regarding that ES or regarding the illustrations, and then it will continue. Okay. So after the break, we will go for AS5 now. So have a break, sir. सर ब्रेक ले लीजिएगा 10 मिनट। ठीक है. So welcome back after the break, beta. So the next AS is AS5, basically Accounting Standard 5 beta. So whenever we are talking about this AS, before going for this is I would like to see if you have any problem in the previous years. Okay. So in the question, it is not mentioned whether the company knows the theft has occurred in January. Only in the month of May, theft has been detected. Therefore, no evidence of theft existed at the balance sheet date. Subsequently, can we take that and non-adjusting? No, sir. No, beta. Basically, इस बात को आपको समझना है कि जो हमारे पास इवेंट हो रहा है, I think this is from South Indian region, so I would like to speak in English specifically for him. Actually, this event is an existing event because the event is related to 31st of March because the conditions are existed on 31st of March. Already the working is of 31st of March. We have assumed the assets in our books of accounts on 31st of March, but the loss has been occurred or the changes have been made to that particular asset only on 31st of May, on the month of May, you can say. So you may have to go for the examples which I have taken for you. In those examples, I've already discussed that how to do it. Okay. Now I'm revising AS4. Sir, your teaching is good. Accounting said AS4 is easy. But all AS will remain easy. That is my commitment. If you will do one thing only, that is you will have to listen it properly. You have to understand it properly and go with the logics or the concepts only. Don't go for the theoretical part only that we have to read it or we have to remember it. Yes, you have to read it. You will have to remember it. But the ways you will have to go for the concepts only. Okay, so be a conceptual person because in that case everything will remain easy. Now coming to AS5, which is an important AS from examination point of view also because we are getting questions from this. Now the AS name defines itself that how we have to go for it. Just a moment. A minor problem is detected. Just a moment. Just a moment, beta. So you have to start reading AS5 beta. I'm just making my setting of minor thing which is creating a problem. Let's start with AS5. You will have to read it first. Read it fast. फटाफट पढ़ो इसको आप. So talking about AS5, its name itself defines it. Sir, we have to do one thing. I have to restart my computer. I need 1 or 2 minutes from your side. Hello? Hello? Sir, I have to restart my computer. Better just wait. I am going to restart my computer. There is some error problem in the computer. May I do it, sir? Welcome back, beta. After the break, we have a two breaks now. है ना? One break is already taken, and second break has been taken due to the reason of this computer problem. So let's start with the NP, net profit or loss for the period. What it means for that is normally known to every student. Net profit or loss for the period that is already done by us in our previous classes. That means for the profit or loss account, whatever we are preparing. In that, we all know that we have to deduct all expenses from our incomes. Whatever incomes we have earned, we have to deduct all expenses out of it, and we will know that how much is net profit or net loss to us. So this is altogether similar, talking about net profit or loss for the period. Next is profit prior period items, and third is change in accounting policies. In addition to this, we have two more points in that particular ES which has been not taken in the name because name will become too much large in that case. So not a typical ES, comparatively an easy ES from exam point of view, and from the understanding point of view also better. So let's start with this. So what is the objective of this ES that has been given in your introduction? The objective is to prescribe the classification and disclosure of certain items in the profit or loss account so that all enterprises prepare and present such a statement on a uniform basis. So the main point is uniform. So here we are interested to understand, we are interested to let you understand this thing, that uniformity is very important. Why accounting standards are prepared? The basic concept behind the accounting standard was only this thing, that government is interested to have a uniform accounting policies, uniform accounting system, uniform presentation by all the businessmen, not differently by each and everyone, because if will not make any standard, then obviously if there is no standard, there is no working. Everyone will go according to his own concept. So to keep them uniform, we have prepared these accounting standards, and this accounting standard have a certain perspective regarding profit or loss, because we are interested to disclose the items in profit or loss account. So how to disclose those items, in that we'll have to discuss here. Now we have extraordinary items, prior period items, and also regarding our ordinary activities, because we are talking about ordinary activities here. So if you will see our net profit or loss for the period, this includes many types of activities. If you will see, one is ordinary items. What is ordinary? Like we are paying salaries, we are paying rent, we are paying printing and stationery, we are showing our sales in our books of accounts. All these are ordinary activities. Sales and routine revenue, incomes, and expenses are our ordinary activities. Now, what are the extraordinary activities? That meant for those activities which are not occurring in routine, because ordinary meant for that which occurs in routine, which is our routine working. Huh? And whatever is not our routine working, that is called extraordinary activities, because such activities will also have an impact on your net profit or loss. If you will see, like a big loss occur due to fire. Now, fire is not a ordinary activity, but the loss which has been occurred due to the reason of fire will be entered in the profit or loss account as an extraordinary item. Theft has been occurred. So this is not a routine activity. Fire has been occurred, lockout has been occurred, earthquake has come and we suffered a big loss. So there are many extraordinary activities, items which has been occurred during the year while doing the business in routine. So these are treated as extraordinary items. Talking about prior period items, this means for beta those items. You may note it down also with you, because if you will note it down, that will be more easy. What means for the ordinary, which is occurring in routine, which is our routine revenue items. And extraordinary means for those activities, those items which are to be entered in profit or loss account. To be entered in profit or loss account. The reason being because they are not relating to our capital receipt and capital payments. All we know that we have to enter all our expenses, incomes, losses, and gains in our profit or loss account. But there you should have to keep it into your mind whenever there is a capital receipt or payment, that is not to be entered here, because capital receipt or payment means we have sold our asset. So loss is to be entered here, but whatever amount is received by the way of selling that asset, we know it very well. The entry is there whenever an asset is sold. Entry is there, na? Bank account debit to asset. So the asset of rupees 1 crore is sold for rupees 80 lakhs. Then we will enter here 80 lakhs. So this will go to balance sheet. This will have an impact on balance sheet. This will have an impact on our assets and bank account. But the loss of rupees 20 lakh will be debited to P&L account. So this loss of rupees 20 lakh. Now, remaining things are different because we will discuss about our capital losses, capital gains in our income tax act also. So corporate accounting is also there, but those are different things. Otherwise, this loss will go to profit or loss account as we know normally. So this loss of rupees 20 lakh, if we have lost, if we have suffered a loss in our business, if we have suffered a big loss, then loss will go to profit or loss account. Then this loss is named as extraordinary activity. One more thing, if we have suffered a gain in our business, and that business gain will also go to your profit or loss account, like bad debts recovered. We know it very well now. There are bad debts in our routine. We have suffered a bad debt of some amount in our previous years. Now in this year we have got a benefit of 1 crore rupees as a recovery of bad debts from some of my old debtor which has already been written off many years ago. So this is extraordinary activity. This is not a routine activity. Any activity which is to be entered in profit or loss account, which is not a routine activity, is named as an extraordinary activity. Beta. Prior bid items, if we'll discuss, this meant for the errors or omissions. Means हम लोगों से कोई गलती हो जाती है, पिछले सालों में कुछ मिस्टेक हो जाती है, कुछ रह जाता है, हम लोग डाल नहीं पाए, भूल गए, कुछ गलती हुई, कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक हो गई. जैसे if you will take an example here, let's take an example of prior period item. Prior period item. What means for the prior period, beta? Let's understand it. I've entered salaries worth rupees 40 lakh in my books of accounts. Now, salary for the month of March 21, salary for the month of March 21 was outstanding, but not entered in 2021. I omitted that. Omitted. Wrongly omitted, basically. And the books of accounts are finalized, and then balance sheet is prepared, and then BOD has approved it, and finally the balance sheet is submitted, return is submitted. Now I come to know in 21-22, in the month of November 22, that oh, so sorry, I have not entered salaries outstanding worth rupees 10 lakh in my books of accounts. So this will be entered in the next year, will be entered in 21-22. So it will be entered in the books in 21-22, exactly right. Now, while preparing profit or loss account, you have to show it in a heading, prior period item. There will be a heading, specific heading for it. Under that, we will have to show outstanding salaries of, not outstanding because outstanding word will not be good. Salaries salaries of 2000 March 21, like that. March 21, you may write here 10 lakh rupees. So there will be a proper heading for it. Basically, we are talking about the headings to be shown in our balance sheet, not doing anything else. Basically, the point is headings. Which heading is to be shown here? That is the important thing. Okay. So there will be a proper heading, like if you will see that we are preparing profit or loss account. So whatever the pro forma of profit or loss account is there, we have to show here ordinary activities, ordinary items. Now in ordinary items, we'll have to show some specific items, like those which have, these are ordinary, but big amount is involved in it. Big amount is involved. Why I'm writing here? Actually, what happens, we are giving it in a proper way of presentation. So if we have a salary worth rupees 10 lakh paid by us, and our sales are worth rupees, you may expect that the sale is of rupees 5 crores, not more than that, 5 crore is a sale. So according to sales, this 10 lakh is a good amount, heavy amount. I have paid a rent of rupees 6 lakhs. This is a heavy amount. Now printing and stationery I have paid for rupees 40,000 during the year. So this is not a heavy amount. So this will not be shown under the heading of ordinary item as a specific head. This will be shown as a other expenses. So we'll prepare it in a proper format. Printing and stationery, postage and telegram, just 10,000 rupees. Then send me some routine expenses, ordinary expenses fast. आप लोग भेजोगे, मैं यहाँ पर लिखता जाऊंगा, मैं बताता जाऊंगा कौन कौन से एक्सपेंसेस ऑर्डिनरी है, कौन से एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है, कौन से ऑर्डिनरी में शो करने हैं, कौन से नहीं शो करने। ऑर्डिनरी में भी दो तरह के हैं, देखो, एक वो जिनको हमने स्पेसिफिकली हेड वाइज शो करना है, और कुछ ऐसे रहेंगे जिनको हम लोग हेड वाइज शो करने की जरूरत नहीं, जिनको अदर एक्सपेंसेस के हेड के अंदर हम डाल देते हैं बेटा। इसीलिए यहाँ पर हेडिंग ऑर्डिनरी एक्टिविटीज, ऑर्डिनरी आइटम्स लिखा गया है, क्योंकि ऑर्डिनरी का मतलब क्या है कि ऑर्डिनरी तो है, बट जिनकी कोई स्पेसिफिक, मान लो कोई फीचर है, उनको शो करेंगे। जैसे यहाँ पर दिया भी होगा बेटा, सी हियर इट इज ordinary activities which are undertaken by an enterprise as a part of its business beta, and such related activities in which the enterprise engage in furtherance of or incidental to or arising from these activities. So this is just a simple definition, but logically it doesn't create any problem for us. We know it very well. All the activities are ordinary activities, but some are specifically disclosed. Which is to be disclosed? Such size, nature, that their disclosure is relevant to explain performance of entity. So their nature and amount of such items should be disclosed separately. That is it. All activities are ordinary activities, which we are saying. Cash sale is an ordinary activity, conveyance ordinary, electricity bill ordinary, traveling ordinary. But here one thing is very important, beta. One student have sent me a cash sales. So I'll write here cash sales separately, because cash sale is of important amount. If it is 1 crore and credit sale is 4 crore, then I would like to show it separately, beta. Okay. Now courier charges are not too much. Courier is also included in postage. Even then I'm showing it. Traveling expenses. But if traveling expenses amount is rupees 4 lakh or 5 lakh, that is a big amount according to the sales. In that case, traveling expenses will be shown here. If it is 3 lakhs, but if it is 30,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, 40,000, then it may be shown here. So any expense, any ordinary expense may be disclosed as a separate in one organization, but it may not be disclosed as a separate in another organization, but because it depends upon its amount. We have already mentioned that it is required to be disclosed if it is of such size, nature, or incidence that their disclosure is relevant to explain performance of entity. So their nature and amount should be disclosed separately. Okay. Profit or loss on sale of merchandise. So this is the ordinary activity. Merchandise means in which we deals. So whatever is the working, traveling, advertisement. Advertisement may be a special disclosure item because we have already seen that what is advertisement. Advertisement is a big amount in normal, in routine business, in every business. So it will be shown as a separate item. Interest. I have seen in an organization. I've seen in an organization that they have taken big loans and their interest amounts to rupees 30 lakhs. They have paid interest of rupees 30 lakh. In another organization, I have seen that the sale is worth rupees 2 crore only, but they have paid 1 crore 20 lakh as a interest. So this is an ordinary item, there's no problem, but this is to be shown separately because this is 120 lakhs, 1 crore 20 lakhs as a interest only. In many organizations, this is a problem because our accounting professionals are normally going for the unsecured loans from their you may say family members, from their known persons, and giving them big amount of interest to reduce the profits, to arrange the capital. So all that is done. Disclosure depends upon materiality of amount for that particular organization. Okay, is special heading or other disclosure in the judgment of management? No, it is not based on the judgment of management. It is basically the requirement of the accounting standard. Sir, but as per Schedule 5, there is prescribed pro forma for balance sheet. In such case, what is the significance of separate head? But actually, we are not talking about company accounts only. We are talking about proprietorship, partnership, AOPs, BOIs, societies, everyone. So pro forma of each and everyone is not given to us. One thing. Second thing, in corporate accounting also, when we will go for the corporate balance sheets, we'll have to disclose properly about these items. There, you should have to keep it into your mind while preparing balance sheets because this has not been prepared by you. This has not been studied by you in your BCom. In your BCom, teachers are not taking too much importance for this. In your BCom, even your whatever I'm saying, your authors of those books are not taking those importance of that. But whenever you will prepare the actual balance sheet, you should have to keep. This is the actual working. I'm not talking about your bookish working. Theoretical education is somehow different. This is purely practical. Accounting stand without using accounting standard, if you will prepare balance sheets, then that balance sheet will not be acceptable at any level. Let it be very much clear. So this is most important. This is all practical, 100% practical. No theory is there. Now, I think this is clear. Talking about ordinary activities, some specific ordinary activities are there which is always required to be disclosed, which have a major impact on the decision making of the business, which will have some different impact on the business. Like if you will write down your inventory because you have done AS2. In that, it is specifically mentioned that inventory is to be valued in the books of accounts at cost or NRV, whichever is less. Now, in routine, we are valuing our inventory at cost. But if NRV is less than the cost, we should have to value it at NRV. Okay. But whenever it is valued at NRV, it should be shown as a separate disclosure. There is a special disclosure for it. It is mandatory. And that disclosure will be given properly. Where disclosure is given? Under the balance sheet, there are special notes to accounts where disclosures are given. Notes, in addition to notes of accounts, you have to give proper disclosure of whatever you have done in the balance sheet. Restructuring of the activity of an enterprise. What is restructuring? That is, if an enterprise have a big losses in its books of accounts due to the reason of previous losses or due to any reason, and they are interested to reverse that loss to restructure their balance sheet. That is, they are interested to show their balance sheet in a good position. Now, in that case, they are interested to write off the losses, whatever is showing in the books of accounts. So they may do that. This is basically done in case of banking. Whenever you taken loan from the bank, and bank is restructuring your accounts so that your balance sheet should be proper, and they are interested to give you some help to run in a proper manner. Disposal of items of fixed assets and long-term investments. This is required to be specially disclosed. Any legislative changes having retrospective application, like government has made a norm that you should have to pay 1% extra tax from last 5 years. So from last 5 years, you have to pay extra tax. So this is to be paid by you. This is not you can't save out of it. Government has already made a norm, or government has made any norm that you should have to pay this much amount to us, or this much adjustment is to be made in the books of accounts, like salaries to be entered on cash basis only in the books of accounts. That is a norm made by a government. So legislative means made by the government of India. Litigation settlements and the reversal of provisions, like there is some case against us and that has been settled, or any provision has been created earlier that has been reversed, like that. So these are all the items which are giving a special impact on the ordinary activities. So these are to be required to be disclosed better separately. I think all these are clear. These are the examples basically. So talking about extraordinary, after disclosing all the extraordinary ordinary activities, you have to show extraordinary items as a heading under the profit or loss account, or extraordinary items. It may be asset, it may be income or expense, anything. So it is to be shown like that. Like I have already discussed, bad debts recovered. Okay, or any big loss like theft or fire, and we have suffered a loss from that. So disclosed in the statement of profit or loss account as a part of net profit, nature and amount of each item separately disclosed. Separately disclose करना है इसको. And the disclosure should be in the way that it impacts our current profit or loss can be perceived. We can easily find out that this much loss or profit has been resulted due to this. So it should be shown properly. What means for attachment of property of the enterprise? That means for a loan has been taken from the bank and it becomes bad. We are not able to pay that loan. And in that case, they have attached our property with that loan so that they can recover the amount of loan. So this is a big thing for us. This is the extraordinary item for us. This is to be shown. Remaining examples I've already taken. Loss on buyback of share is exactly, but that is basically capital loss. So it will be shown in the balance sheet as a goodwill. Next is prior period item, already discussed. If we have suffered a loss or a gain or any expense or income is to be entered in the books of accounts. Why? Because we have forgot to enter it in the previous period. So if any mathematical mistake is done, if anything is forgotten, like we have calculated depreciation. So depreciation we have calculated. Last year a new asset has been purchased that has been charged with a depreciation of rupees 1 lakh. But I have wrongly calculated depreciation worth rupees 10,000. So there's a difference of 90,000, that is the depreciation less charged in our previous year. So what you will do, this will be entered in the current year. That's it. But this will be under a proper heading, and that heading will be prior period items under profit or loss account. So it may be in the debit side or credit side, anything. Like we have depreciation charged 1 lakh, but actual amount was 10,000. In that case, 90,000 will be reversed as a income. Here it is a expense. So if it is an expense, it will be shown here. If it is an income, then it will be shown here, like prior period item. That's it. If we forgot to enter a sale in our books of accounts, now we forgot to enter a sale in our books of accounts. So we may enter that sale in the next year. There's no problem. But under the heading prior period item, that's it. Very simple to understand, बेटा. बस ये बात याद रखनी है कि ये गलती है, कोई मिस्टेक है या ओमिशन है, और कुछ नहीं है. या तो हम भूल गए थे या गलती से या हमने कोई कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक कर ली है. ओके. Read it once. If there is any doubt till now, then I would like to take that doubt. कोई भी डाउट है तो पूछो, एक बार पढ़ लो आप. Exceptional items are what meant for the exceptional items, beta? Exceptional items meant for those ordinary activities, whatever have some special amount, whatever have some you may say special disclosure. These are special items we have, exceptional items we have already discussed here. See, these are also named as exceptional items. These are the part of ordinary activities just shown separately, nothing else. These special disclosure items are named as exceptional items in your AS. It is not mentioned in AS as exceptional items, okay? But to let you understand better, they have used the word exceptional item, nothing else. Read all these. पढ़ लो एक बार सारा बेटा. Then I'll come to the point. All that you have to read. I'll start from change in accounting estimate within 2 minutes. So before that, all you have to read. Send me the queries if there is any. Uday has asked a query. If government make our goods taxable, which were exempted before, is to be disclosed separately, exactly beta. This is treated as a exceptional item or special disclosure item under ordinary activities. So it is to be disclosed separately with a special disclosure. Amalgamation and demerger are exceptional or extraordinary. Amalgamation and demerger are extraordinary, not the ordinary activities. Let's understand this. Whatever is not our routine business is our extraordinary, and whatever is our related to our routine business is ordinary. Because ordinary activities are those which are as per law, which are run in routine, like I am talking about this thing, writing down of inventories to NRV. Even these items are, because we are selling our assets and liability, so we are selling our assets or investments, there's no problem. This is a routine thing because we are running our business, and if we have any fixed asset, we should have to sell it if it is not required to us, if it is of not of that level. So this is a part of ordinary activity. Extraordinary means for that activity which is never expected by us, which is never, because we are not expecting that our business will be shut down. Hai na? So if going concern assumption fails, any such activity which results into a failure of our going concern assumption, that is an extraordinary activity. Beta. Earthquake has come, loss has occurred due to the reason of fire. We are not expecting any chance of fire. There is no chance at all. Yeah, writing down of our inventory to NRV is our routine. We can do it because this is a part and parcel of our business, that we are reducing our assets to its market value, or we are doing it reverse later on. That is a part and parcel of our working, because ES10 tells us that you should have to write down your assets to its assets when you are making revaluation. So even revaluation of our asset is not required in routine, but even then if it occurs, we can do it. Okay, na? So all things are ordinary. No extraordinary example can be taken in routine. Extraordinary is really an extraordinary thing which we never expect. Didn't get point of third para. Prior period items are not determined in profit for current year. Okay. Anuradha. So all must see prior period items. Okay. The nature and amount of prior period items should be separately disclosed in the statement of profit or loss in a manner that their impact on that's simple beta. I already mentioned you that prior period items are to be shown here in the way it is presented properly. Like I should have to write here depreciation of last year 90,000. That's it. That it meant for nothing else. What is legislative changes? Already taken an example by one of my student that if government make our goods taxable, which were exempted before, is it to be disclosed separately? Government has made a changes that your goods will be taxable from last 2 years. So we'll have to make a change. Or government has made a change that actually what happens, litigation is there. Like government is saying that that you have to pay entertainment tax of 5,000 rupees. Okay, Delhi government has started, just assume. A government has started, maybe Delhi government just have started entertainment tax, or Punjab government has started a special tax on its taxpayers. Now what happens? What happens? Someone has gone for the litigation. He has challenged it in the court. Due to that reason, I have not paid it. I know that litigation is going on. There may be a chance that people may win. I have not made any challenge of it. Someone else have made a challenge. So matter is going into court. Due to that reason, I am not paying it. Neither I am creating a provision for it. Later on, the decision has come that we have to pay it. So this is neither an error nor an omission. Basically, it has not been entered in the books of accounts because there were two views, that there may be a chance that the public may win, and there is no need of paying it. So later on, when it comes into the picture, we come to know that we have to pay it for the last 3 years. So this will be shown as an ordinary activity, ordinary item with special disclosure. Okay, dear. Okay, dear. No, this is not an extraordinary which we never expect, which is not even thought by us. So there may be a chance that we may win the case. एक केस चल रहा है, वो जीत भी सकते हैं, हार भी सकते हैं. इसमें कौन सा बड़ी बात है? इसमें extraordinary वाली तो बात ही नहीं आती. We are in plant and machinery business, and the purchase of plant and machinery from related parties is exceptional. No, beta. We are not talking about AS 17 here. It is disclosed like this in profit or loss account, as I am wrong or right. profit before extraordinary item, extraordinary expenses, profit before extraordinary items, like this. Yeah, exactly. Alok, you are right. So coming to the next topic, that is change in accounting estimates and change in accounting policies. So what means for the change in accounting estimate? Just on Saturday, I was doing it for the students of accounting, a change in accounting estimates that I was doing for the students of CA Foundation. In CA Foundation, we have a chapter named as depreciation. You know? In that, there is the same thing is there, change in accounting estimates. Very simple and easy to understandable. Just see here it is. We know that we have purchased an asset for rupees 2 lakh. Cost of an asset. Life of an asset is estimated because always it is an estimated life, that is 5 years. And scrap value that is known to us, it is 10,000 rupees, 20,000. Let's take it 20,000. Okay. So we are calculating depreciation by straight line method. That is 2 lakh minus 20,000 divided by 5. How much it is? Get it? We'll discuss Geet. Geet, good name. Geet Chauhan. You have asked the query first time. I'll answer your query. No matter. Just wait. Send me how much it is. Very good. So this is the amount of depreciation. Okay. Now this is to be charged every year. Now what happens in third year? In third year, obviously 2 years have already been passed. We think that, or we come to the point that the remaining life is 2 years only. So recalculate the depreciation. How much should be the depreciation for the third year? Depreciation for third year. Fast. Get it fast. For this, first of all, we need the remaining value at the beginning of third year. That is 2 lakh minus How much it is? 36 minus 36. So 72,000 will be deducted, beta. So the balance is rupees 1,28,000. So this 1,28,000 is the remaining value of asset as on that date, minus scrap value is 20,000 and the remaining life is 2 years. So this is the amount of depreciation which you will get, 54,000. Okay. What it is? This is called change in accounting estimate. This is called change in accounting estimate because we have changed our accounting estimate of life of an asset. Earlier, the life of an asset was 5 years. Now this has been changed to 4 years. So this is an estimate which we have made earlier. Or second thing, those who are unable to get it just due to the reason because they have not deducted this 20,000 from their books of accounts. So I would like to declare first Abdul, Angel second, Pranav third, Vinay fourth, Geet fifth, Darshan sixth, Alok, Pranav, Darshan, return on value, exactly right. So, but I have already checked that hundreds of students are attending this class, but answer is sent by only few. That is very bad, beta. You must have to send the answer fast because that is always required. Whenever you are studying with me, you should have to send the answers. It is always good to send the answer fast. So this is called change in accounting estimate, or you have changed the scrap value of the asset. Now your scrap value of asset is changed to if this change hasn't happened. Now let's assume this is not a change. Instead, the change is in second year. We have assumed that the estimated scrap value will be 0. In the second year, we have assumed it. So tell me how much will be the depreciation for second year. This type of questions will come into your exam. Okay, but you will have to do the practical. Do it fast. Fast, beta. This is 2 lakh minus 36,000. Depreciation for first year. It will be 1,64,000. As we know that scrap value will be 0. So divided by 4, the remaining life of the asset. So it will be 41,000. Very good. Very good. Very good. So here Piyush comes first, Piyush Chaurasia. Abdul comes second. Vinay, Pranav, Alok, Angel, Vishwakarma, Darshan, Alok. Alok, rectify it, please. Geet. And remaining will have to rectify it. Your speed must be good. No worry. If you're doing it wrong, there's no worry. We will rectify it. But whenever you're going to do it, just think properly and then do it. Okay. So an estimate may have to be revised consequent to changes occurring in the circumstances based on which the estimate was made. Earlier, estimate was made on the basis of the experience from the market. Now we have our own experience also, so we have changed it accordingly. New information, more experience, or subsequent development results into changes in accounting estimate. So revision of an estimate, it must not be an extraordinary item nor a prior period item. Let it be very much clear. Don't treat it as an extraordinary item or a prior period item. It will be treated as a revision of an estimate. The residual value and the useful life of plant and machinery should be reviewed at each financial year end, and if expected different from previous estimate, change should be accounted for as a change in accounting estimate. Already discussed how to be entered it in the books of accounts. It should be included in the determination of the net profit or loss in the period of change and the period of the changes and future period. Obviously, if it will result into only 1 year, it will change the impact. It will have an impact only in single year. Obviously, that year's profit or loss will be affected. If it will have an effect on the 2 or 3 years or 4 years, then obviously it will affect all the years in future also. Proper disclosure is to be given. Nature and amount needed to be disclosed, which have a material impact in the current period or expected to have a material impact in the subsequent period. Disclosure means for what? That already discussed beneath the balance sheet. Beneath the balance sheet, there is a proper space for disclosing each and everything. You will have to give it by way of note behind below the balance sheet. It will be classified in the statement of profit or loss account as a change in accounting estimate. Using same classification as was used previously for the estimate, just disclose it separately. It will not be disclosed in the profit or loss account under the separate heading. Instead, it will be shown under the heading ordinary activity if it was an ordinary activity earlier. So it will be shown under the ordinary activity. There's no problem. We will not show in profit or loss account as a change in accounting estimate. Instead, it will be shown as a change in accounting estimate only below the balance sheet. That is in a disclosure heading. Okay, my dear. No difference is to be accounted for. Instead, depreciation will be entered as rupees 41,000 in the second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. That's it. We will not have to keep it into your mind that earlier depreciation was 36,000, now it becomes 41,000. What we have to do? There's no need of considering this thing. Just you have to charge depreciation of rupees 41,000 from this year onwards. That's it. Your work is not to take any stress of it. आपको तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ 41,000 रुपए डेप्रिसिएशन डालनी है इस साल से. That's it. It is not from the retrospective effect. It is from the prospective effect. इस साल से आगे आपने ये सब करना है. पिछले साल का कुछ नहीं करना. Okay. One student has asked a query if method of depreciation from straight line method to return on value is change in accounting estimate and not a change in accounting policy. No, beta. We'll discuss. Just wait. Now coming to accounting policy. So what is our policy? That is depending upon the decision of the organization. Because if an organization is interested to do anything, then they will have to check it out in the accounting standards and the legislative that they are not going against it. That's it. Otherwise, they can do as per their own convenience. So if we have made a policy, means what is accounting policy? We know it very well. These are the written policy documents. If you will see its definition, in your module, what is accounting policy? These are the specific accounting principles and the methods of applying those principles. What it is? Yeah. Accounting policies are the specific accounting principles and the methods of applying those principles adopted by an enterprise in the preparation and presentation of financial statement. So first of all, accounting principle. What is our accounting principle? So that we have already studied. These are written policy documents. So whatever the policy we have made for the purpose of applying accounting principles, if you are doing anything like we have planned that we should have to, yeah, this is a good thing that we have to charge deposition. No. For that, a good example will be like we have made a accounting policy that we have to make a provision of 5% on our debtors at the end of every year. This is accounting policy or accounting estimate. We are expecting that there may be a bad debts. So we are creating a provision of 5% on debtors. What it is? This is an accounting estimate or accounting policy? Yes, fast. This is accounting estimate. Exactly right, beta. Very good. Now, there's another thing, like we are valuing our inventory on specific identification method. Do you know what is? Chalo, let's leave it because maybe someone has not done CA foundation and he doesn't know about it. Better we may go for FIFO and weighted average method. This is normally known to everyone that we are valuing our stock on the basis of FIFO or weighted average method. These are the two main allowed methods. Either you may go for FIFO or weighted average method. Now, I am valuing our inventory on FIFO method every year. So what it is? Is it an accounting estimate or accounting policy? I'm valuing inventory, valuing our stock. Valuation of stock on FIFO basis. So what it is? This is basically accounting estimate. Whatever we are discussing about bad debts, because this is a estimate that 5% of debtors may be a loss in the next year. So this is all about accounting estimate. In the next year, if change in accounting estimate is there, then obviously it will be shown as a change in accounting estimate. But this is not accounting estimate, this is accounting policy. Whenever we are saying that then the inventory is to be valued on FIFO basis, this is valuation of inventory. We have planned that we'll have to make ESI and PF contribution of our employees. So this is accounting policy. Okay, we have planned that we should have to show outstanding expenses at the end of every year. So this is accounting policy. This is not accounting estimate, this is accounting policy. Whatever is the outstanding expense that should be shown in profit and loss account. So this is accounting policy. Now, if any change in accounting policy is there, then it will be allowed only and only with 3 reasons. बेटा देखो accounting policy में change allowed नहीं होता. आप अपनी मर्जी से accounting policy में change नहीं कर सकते. Accounting policy can be changed only in 3 cases. One is it is required by state law. Any law has made it compulsory for you to change it, or it is required by any accounting standard. Any accounting standard tells you, any accounting standard insists you to do it, you will have to do it. Or third is it will result into better presentation over financial statement. Better presentation of our financial statement that is to be proved by us. It is to be proved by us, it is to be shown by us that it will result into better presentation of our financial statement. Only then you can change accounting policy. Otherwise, we can't change accounting policy. Change in accounting policy is allowed only and only one thing, if it is required by statute, means law. That is, any law of land has made it compulsory for you to change it. You will have to. Second, I have already discussed any accounting standard, let it compulsory for you to do it, or when it is result into more appropriate presentation of financial statement. Okay, so adoption of an accounting policy for events or occurring that differ in substance from previous occurring events or these are not change in accounting policies, he says. What is not change in accounting policy? Like introduction of a formal retirement. He says we have introduced a formal retirement gratuity scheme by an employer in place of ad hoc gratuity payment to employees on retirement. This is all about accounting. Earlier, we are going for the formal retirement gratuity scheme. Now we have changed it to ad hoc gratuity plan. So this is just a this is not assumed as a change in accounting policy. Adoption of a new accounting policy for events or a transaction which didn't occur previously or that was immaterial means material impact must be there. Due to that, there must be a material impact on the previous years also. If that doesn't have any material effect on the previous year, then there's no problem at all. If it is not correlated with the previous year, then there's no problem at all. Any change in accounting policy may have a material effect. It should be disclosed specifically. So if it results into any change, अगर उससे कोई भी change आ रहा है, तो it is to be disclosed properly. You may see here. I would like to show you conditions wherein there are no changes in accounting policies. Adoption of an accounting policy for events or occurring that differs in substance from previous occurring events or transaction. Substance means materially there is no change. It is just our internal matter. Adoption of a new accounting policy for event and occurring which didn't occur previously or that was immaterial. So it doesn't have any relationship with the previous one. So it will not be assumed as a change in accounting policy. Change in accounting policy will be considered only and only if it results into substance. Substance का मतलब जिसका weight होता है, जिस बात का कोई weight भी हो. जैसे हम कहते हैं कि आपने स्टॉक की वैल्यूएशन को चेंज कर दिया, पहले फीफो पे कर रहे थे, अब आप वेटेड एवरेज में करने लग गए. अब इसका तो बड़ा सब्सटेंस है, क्योंकि पहले जब आप फीफो पे कर रहे थे तो स्टॉक की वैल्यू कुछ और आ रही होगी. अब जो वेटेड एवरेज में करोगे तो स्टॉक की वैल्यू में फर्क पड़ेगा. तो ये तो मैंडेटरी है कि आपको एक मेथड चुन लिया तो उसी को कंटिन्यू करना है, बार बार चेंज नहीं करना. अगर आप चेंज करते हो तो 3 ही रीजन हो सकते हैं, और किसी रीजन से आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते. बट अगर मैं कोई ऐसा काम कर रहा हूं जिसका पिछले साल से, पिछले पीरियड से कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं है, चाहे कोई भी पॉलिसी में फॉलो कर रहा था बट उसका कोई रिलेशन नहीं है पिछले से, उससे कोई पिछले पीरियड पे कोई मटेरियल इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ रहा. जैसे फीफो में क्या होता है कि हम स्टॉक की वैल्यूएशन करते हैं. अब इन्वेंट्री की वैल्यूएशन हम कर लेते हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट की. हम इन्वेस्टमेंट की वैल्यूएशन करते हैं कॉस्ट पे. तो मैंने रूल बना लिया इस बार से कि मैं इस बार से इन्वेस्टमेंट की जो वैल्यू है वो किससे करूंगा, पहले मैं कॉस्ट पे कर रहा था, अभी मैं किस पे करूंगा, मार्केट वैल्यू पे करूंगा. अब ये मैंने जो चेंज इन अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी करा ये जायज है, इसको चेंज इन अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी माना जाएगा. बिकॉज इससे मेरी जो पिछले साल की मैंने जो कॉस्ट शो करी हुई है रियल में वो इस साल इंपैक्ट होगी. पिछले साल की मैं चेंज तो नहीं करने जाऊंगा बट ऑटोमेटिकली उस पर इंपैक्ट तो पड़ ही रहा है ना, कोई रिलेशन तो है. ये एक मैंने इन्वेस्टमेंट आज तक मेरे पास थी नहीं, कोई किताबों में मेरे पास कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं थी. वैसे मेरी पॉलिसी क्या थी, मैंने लिखा हुआ था कहीं पर कि इन्वेस्टमेंट इज टू बी वैल्यूड एट कॉस्ट. एक्चुअली टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में मैं लिखना पड़ता है, तो उसमें पॉलिसी बनाई हुई थी मैंने कि मैं कॉस्ट पे शो करूंगा, लेकिन मेरे पास कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट थी ही नहीं. तो करंट ईयर में 21-22 में मैंने एक इन्वेस्टमेंट परचेज करी, और परचेज करके मैंने सोचा मैंने तो इसको मार्केट वैल्यू पे शो करना है, और मैंने ये पॉलिसी चेंज कर दी. इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉस्ट मैंने इस बार लिख दिया कि मैं इसको मार्केट वैल्यू पे करूंगा. तो इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज इससे जब मेरे पास वो चीज थी ही नहीं तो उस पर क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला. मेरा स्टॉक ही जीरो है, चाहे आप उसे फीफो पे लगा रहे हो चाहे किसी पे लगा रहे हो. इस साल मतलब आज तक मेरे पास स्टॉक था ही नहीं, इसी साल मैंने स्टॉक पहली बार परचेज किया. मैंने कभी काम ही नहीं किया, वैसे ही मैं ऑडिट रिपोर्ट बना के भेजता जा रहा हूँ कि मेरा जी बिजनेस नहीं चल रहा, या मेरा आज तक कभी स्टॉक रहा ही नहीं, हमेशा स्टॉक जीरो रहता था. और इस साल मैंने स्टॉक को वैल्यू करा तो मैंने मेथड चेंज कर दिया, तो उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट आप लोगों ने क्या मान के चलना है? आप लोगों ने यही मान के चलना है कि रूटीन में, स्टॉक में, इन्वेस्टमेंट में कभी भी अगर मेथड चेंज होता है तो आपने ये नहीं सोचना कि स्टॉक था कि नहीं था, पूछने नहीं चले जाना। ये तो मैंने एग्जांपल लिया आपके लिए। कहने का मतलब ये है कि उस चीज का पिछले सालों से क्या रिलेशन है ये देखना है। अदरवाइज रूटीन में जितनी भी हम चेंजेस कर रहे हैं वो चेंज इन अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी ही है। All change in policy is assumed as accounting policy change, but it should be shown, it should be, and it is to be disclosed separately. Its disclosure is required, having a material effect. इसका इस साल का इफेक्ट और अगले सालों का सारा इफेक्ट शो करना. You will have to show the impact of such change in the current year and the future years also. So all that will be shown properly. Okay. I think all that is clear. Any doubt to anyone? Now your homework is very clear to you. One thing is you have to review the module. Here accounting standard, accounting standards are given to you. Application of accounting standard, you will have to read it. Okay, from here simultaneously you will have to go for the illustrations, whatever are given to you. Do all the illustrations. I suggest you to go for the questions from the scanner also, from the 10-year also. If you have 10-year available with you, it is always good. In that, whatever questions have come into your exams out of this particular AS 4 and 5, you must have to do it beta. अगर आप कर लोगे, it will be better now because you have already studied the module. You have already studied the accounting standard, and if you will do the illustration and all the things now, then it will be always better. अभी करने का फायदा है, तो बाद में नहीं करना. Okay. So I think each and everything is clear. Now one more homework is there. Before coming for the next module, next AS, it will be better if you have time. You may also study the next two AS before coming for the next lecture. That is day before, day after tomorrow. The next lecture will be there. So if you have time, you may also read that. Otherwise, there's no problem. I'll do it for you. Okay then. Thank you very much. If dormant company starts from this year, but that is not in our syllabus, so don't do it. If dormant company starts from the year and changes the inventory valuation method, is it counted as change in account? Dormant company, it doesn't remember what you're interested to ask. What about your feedback for the current session? Send me the feedback fast. अभी feedback भेजो. अच्छा लगा session के नहीं लगा? Fast. Send me the feedback how you have enjoyed this lecture. It changes the inventory valuation method. Is it counted as change in accounting policy? If a company has started from this year, then obviously if it has changed its accounting policy, then how it changed its accounting policy? Because in that case, earlier the company was not into the existence. So if company was not into the existence, it has not followed any accounting policy. So first year accounting policy will be assumed as the accounting policy, not a change in accounting policy. Okay. So what's your feedback, beta, for today's lecture? Send me the feedback. Okay. So, sir, we may close the session.